Well, hello, friends. Greetings from Poland, a country that has opened its heart to 1 million Ukrainian refugees. Around a month ago, I left behind the harsh Ukrainian winter for the warmth and safety of Krakow. This is Poland's second largest city. It's not particularly warm here, but it's definitely safe. So I decided to start this vlog here at the Krakow railway station because this was the place where Ukrainian refugees arrived in large amounts during the early stages of the war. So let's go inside the station and I'll show you around. Poland, along with Germany, is standing out here in Europe, hosting around 1 million Ukrainian refugees each. It's obviously not easy to deal with such a huge influx, so people are feeling tired, overwhelmed, annoyed. And today I want to share with you guys why Poles in particular are a little bit shocked by the presence of so many of us here. Reason number one why Polish people might feel frustrated about the refugee situation is the overwhelming number of Ukrainians here. Poland has received a disproportionate number of refugees. More than 2 million arrived in the first year of the war. It was absolute chaos. I remember those times. Then actually more than 1 million has left, but still there are around 1 million Ukrainians in Poland now. So things like geographical proximity to Ukraine, we have cultural similarities, the cost of living here is way lower than in Western Europe. All these were very practical reasons for people to stay. Speaking of the increase in Ukrainians, the population of Krakow has jumped by around 20%. Poland hasn't historically been a destination for immigrants, and for Polish people, seeing so many people from a different culture is pretty shocking. They're used to a culturally uniform society. Even though we look alike, we speak different languages, we have different attitudes towards certain things, so it is all a drastic change for Polish people. And also I can see Ukrainian flags are waving around Krakow. I can see Ukrainian restaurants and shops are popping up. Oops, I was almost hit by a Mercedes. Poland's government are super picky when it comes to accepting in refugees. They resisted taking in Muslim refugees, and because of this, they're often called racist.
How many refugees has Poland taken?
0.
And you're proud of that?
If you are asking me about Muslims illegal immigration, none. Not even one will come to Poland, not even one if it's illegal. We took over 2 million Ukrainians who are working, who are peaceful in Poland. We will not receive even one Muslim because this is what we promised.
But I asked not about illegal immigrants, I asked about refugees. And Jean-Claude Juncker, the Commission President, says that you're racist. You sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees.
I'm taking you around, guys, Krakow's historical center. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I want to show you some Ukrainian places that popped up recently here. So right here in the heart of Krakow. This place is super common in Ukraine. It's a Western Ukrainian bakery chain. Lviv croissant or croissant. I have no idea how you pronounce this word in English. English words of French origin are my favorite ones. So I won't take you inside. It's just a bakery and coffee. You can have some sandwiches and things like this. Guys, I found a very unique shop with Ukrainian souvenirs and a nice lady.
Hello from Ukraine. Now we in Krakow, and we opened this store 2 years ago just to support Ukrainian artists, and we try to do something here to support Ukraine. Yeah, and here more than 80 different brands. A lot of stuff. It's total handmade. Because of the war, a lot of Ukrainians lost work. So now it's important to do something like this, for example, just little things like souvenirs, but it's really help.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Another reason why some Poles feel uncomfortable about Ukrainians here goes back to World War II, to a very tragic event in history. In 1943 and 1944, when Poland was torn apart by the dual invasion of Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union, a series of brutal massacres occurred in the region of Valinia, which at the time was part of Poland but is now located in western Ukraine. These events are known as the Valinia Massacre. The violence was carried out by the Ukrainian Insurgent Army, UPA, a nationalist paramilitary group striving to create an independent Ukraine. As part of their campaign, they aimed to eliminate the Polish population from the region entirely. The attacks were carried out with shocking brutality. Villages were burned to the ground, entire families were slaughtered, and many victims were tortured before being killed. The UPA often attacked in the dead of night, leaving no time for escape. Around 100,000 Polish civilians, including women, children, and elderly, lost their lives during these raids. A controversial figure tied to this history is Stepan Bandera. The Ukrainian Insurgent Army acted as the military wing of his organization of Ukrainian nationalists. While Bandera is still celebrated in parts of modern Ukraine as a hero for his fight for Ukrainian independence, in Poland he is obviously strongly associated with atrocities committed against Poles. Another common criticism I hear about Ukrainians is that we don't bother learning the language or respecting Polish culture. Well, partially. It's a legit point because I'm the one who don't speak Polish much, just enough to survive. But luckily I live downtown Krakow, which is super touristy, and you can get most services here in English. So people are really used to seeing a lot of tourists and hearing English. Nobody will give you judgmental looks if you buy something in English in a shop. But still, let me defend Ukrainians on this one, because it's not exactly easy to find any language programs for refugees or immigrants here in Poland. As I mentioned before, Poland hasn't historically been a destination for immigrants, so logically, no immigrants, no adaptation programs for immigrants. I've done my best to find something online, or I ask in some libraries. No luck so far. For comparison, when I was in the States, you can walk into pretty much any public library, even in a very small town, and find English as a second language classes for free. This is what I did when I was in the States. That was super convenient and helpful. And I know that countries like France, Germany, they have really structured adaptation programs for refugees, and the government will most likely push you toward learning a language. But here in Poland, it's a very different situation. It's more like Figure it out yourself, and it is your responsibility. So, friends, actually, behind me is Krakow's main library. This is like the biggest in the region. So, let's put it on a test. I'll take you along, and we will ask if they actually offer something for people who are willing, learning Polish, and respecting Polish culture. So guess what, friends? They gave me a library card. Karta biblioteczna. They even printed out my name, so I am now a legit member of Polish society. I have a library card. And a lady at the reception desk was very nice, and she spoke English and told me I could go to the second floor and try my luck enrolling in a Polish course. So, fingers crossed. Maybe this time I'll get lucky. What a lovely place. Absolutely lovely. I like libraries. Czytelnia główna. That was me reading Polish, and I guess that means the main reading room. So, bummer again, friends. They do have Polish groups for beginners and advanced learners, but they're both packed, so they couldn't squeeze me in. I was still very determined this time. I signed up in case something might open up later on, and once I registered, they sent me an email saying, "Hello, thank you for filling the registration form. I regret to inform you that as of today, we are unable to accept any more participants. I will let you know as soon as possible in case a place is released." It's not exactly easy to study Polish in Poland. Well, anyway, we had a nice excursion around this beautiful library. So, bye-bye, the main Krakow's library. See you later. What a lovely sunset we're having today, guys. This video is not sponsored by Grid Dynamics IT company. But Grid Dynamics, if you're watching and you want to become a sponsor, you're more than welcome. No hard feelings about the layoff. Well, friends, I've come here to this lovely business center where a bunch of tech companies have their offices, because I used to work here until Grid Dynamics laid me off. And I want to talk about jobs and a very common opinion here that Ukrainians are taking Polish people's jobs. Well, I wouldn't exactly call myself an expert on the labor market in Poland, but I did some research. I have some insights from my own experience. Do not quote me on any numbers, but here are some statistics I found. So, according to Polish Economic Institute, and this article was published in March 2024, 65% of all refugees who came to Poland from Ukraine are in employment. And this is truly a remarkable figure, 65%. So this impressive percentage might make some people think we're actively displacing Polish workers, but that's not exactly the case, because here we can see that mostly refugees find employment as blue-collar workers in tourism, hospitality, manufacturing, logistics, IT, and construction. Interestingly, that most of these industries have actually severe labor shortages in Poland. Agriculture, construction, tourism and hospitality, even IT. So it's more about filling gaps rather than actively displacing Poles. Another interesting point is that here we can see that for both non-specialist positions and for specialist positions, Ukrainians get fewer callbacks, so there are indications of potential discrimination against us. So we definitely face a lot of challenge in competing for high-skilled jobs due to various reasons like local certifications, lack of professional networks, language barrier, and many, many others. It feels like this idea that we take Polish people's jobs is oversimplified, and actually we're filling jobs locals don't want, like strawberry picking. Nobody want to do strawberry picking in Poland, but Ukrainians do, and we started doing this even before the war started. And actually, from what I've heard and seen, this job is very close to the description of hell. So friends, I also know that my diploma, my university degree isn't recognized in Poland, and we have a language barrier. So we often work below our qualifications and can't simply compete equally with Poles. So I don't think we are actively displacing Polish workers. With the beautiful sunset in the background, I want to sum up this video and say that there are definitely some tension between the two nations, but I haven't had any bad experiences here in Poland. I was always treated nicely, and I have a strong belief that if you are polite, if you show respect, you will get the same in return, especially in Poland. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video, and take care. Bye!